everybody. Welcome back to the All-American Savage Show podcast. I am your host, John Burke, here with my beautiful bearded husband, Jewish husband, Josh, who is, by the way, not my husband, and he's not Jewish.
L'chaim. Well, I got 1% Ashkenazi blood coursing through my veins.
I wonder how many people actually, we were just talking about how, like, Josh is to me what Steven Crowder's half-Asian lawyer is to him, except Josh isn't Asian and he's not a lawyer.
So without the education.
He doesn't have the education. So, oh my God. This is where we're at right now. But, hey, thanks for tuning in this morning. I hope you are all having a wonderful morning. Thank you for spending your morning here with us on the All-American Savage Show podcast. Got a lot of news to cover, a lot of things to talk about, and I want to make the official announcement that Congressman Dan Crenshaw will be joining us on Friday at 2:45 p.m. CST, so it's going to be a later broadcast on that day. But he will be here, and I'll also be fielding your questions that you want me to ask him. I have many questions of my own. But if you're wanting to write into the show, you can do so at the link on my Twitch channel. When you push !questions, the link will populate, and you can write in and ask, or you can tell me what questions you would like me to ask the congressman when he comes on the show. Always, there's like a second time coming on. Still waiting to hear back from Tulsi. I hope she comes on. She's a very intelligent woman.
Alan West.
That dude's harder to get. I do like trying to get a hold of that guy. Like, better luck getting Biden. Which I would actually love to have Biden on the show. I would love to have Biden on the show.
Up here. Look.
Right here, Biden. Right here. Stop looking at your watch. Stop looking at the fucking watch, Biden. But yeah, that's where we're at now. So a big thank you to everybody. Now, if you're watching for the first time on Facebook, hey, welcome. We relaunched the podcast about a week ago. You can find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, my YouTube channel. The links are below. You can check that out. So you can listen to us on, and we're going to find out about trying to get into Spotify. I had a lot of requests for us to go on Spotify. We're going to push into that. Thank you to each one of you that share the show, that tell your friends, that are helping us grow. It really means a lot. Thank you. The viewership continues to grow. The audience on Twitch continues to grow. Thank you for all the bits and the donations and subscriptions. You guys are fucking amazing. Again, we will never be a mainstream podcast. We will never be on Fox News because we say fuck way too much and cunt. People don't like us saying that shit, but we're going to keep fucking saying it.
Still frowned upon. Still frowned upon for some.
It's weird. I mean, we can, abandon Americans and stuff, but saying fuck, that's the trigger. That is over the line with people. So thank you for being here this morning. So let me get the show started with this. Yesterday, Josh was there with me. We sold the Dodge Charger to CarMax. They gave us $14,000 for it, and we were giving it away. Y'all have put us in the position that you have made Shell Shock a $1 million company in just shy of 2 years. It's through your support, your trust in trying our products, and putting your faith in me that you have helped us grow so quickly, and we are now in a position where we can do more to give back. So I want to say thank you. Thank you for making that happen. Thank you for trusting us with your health, with your sleep, with your stress, anxiety, and for those that just want to get high as fuck, we've got you covered. We've got you. The Delta 8 is amazing. It's been doing wonderfully well. But thank you for putting us in the position where we can actually do that. It really means a lot to us, and we're going to continue giving back as much as we can. We have the True North program coming back to where you can apply to get a free bottle of CBD if you're a veteran, and we're going to make that happen. We have so much going on right now, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm sorry if we're not responding as quickly as we have before, but we're actually expanding. We're hiring 2 more people, and it's to say we're blessed is an understatement, a gross understatement. Beyond measure. I think last year, I mean, I'm not ashamed to admit it. Last year, it was a really good year. And then this year, we're just blowing it out of the water still. And we continue to expand. We're talking about launching women's products for makeup and beauty lines for CBD. People are finally starting to wake up to the idea of what CBD can do and how good it is for you. And again, I was a skeptic. I was against it until I actually tried it and I had to eat my words. And here we are with the freaking $1 million CBD business and Delta 8 and expanding into other ventures.
Yeah, it's got a lot going on. Good stuff.
Matter of fact, Josh is still high from Delta 8 last night.
It's strong.
It's strong as fuck.
I took it about 9 o'clock last night.
Yeah.
Just want to relax.
Yeah, Delta 8, for those that don't know, is federally legal. Yeah. It is legal. Now, in certain specific states, I think there's 12 or 13, it is banned. And we can't ship to those states. But I'm not telling you what to do. But
Which is crazy because there's like
in
Colorado.
In the same states,
Colorado,
it's legal.
It's
Marijuana is
illegal.
yes.
New York, it's illegal. It's like, okay.
Because now, and you watch, I'm calling it right now. I'm calling it right now. Big weed industry is going to turn into big pharma. The big weed motherfuckers do not want Delta 8 hitting the market because it undercuts them. it undercuts them.
It's such a great
It's an amazing product. There's
Yeah.
no paranoia like what comes with a lot of Delta 9 that which is found in cannabis. Delta 8 is a much more relaxed and mellow high, and you're still high as fuck. And we had like Josh, he's not ashamed to admit this. Josh is an avid weed smoker, and he's tried Delta 8, and
It's great. I prefer it.
he's our resident stoner. So when Josh says like, bro, this shit's fucking legit, like it's
good.
legit.
You have a
It's
lot of
good.
stoners that say that though.
Yeah.
Who, like some of the events we did over the summer where they were like, I'm a pot smoker, blah blah blah, and they were like, I could take 2 of these, and they would come back around to the booth and be like, I should have taken 1.
So
These are
the
strong.
FitCon, that one dude
Yeah.
was followed by a little camera. I think he was trying to make it big on YouTube.
Yeah.
And so we have sample packs now. So if you're not sure about Delta 8 or the Rack Out gummies, we have sample packs on the website for like $5 that you can try instead of spending $35 or $40. I understand that. So one dude walks up and he buys a sample pack of like 5 gummies of Delta 8s and just siphons them all. And we're sitting there, it's just like, bro, you just ingested like 25, 50, so like almost 150 to 200 milligrams of Delta 8.
Because they always run just a little bit over. So
We actually kind of advertise down because normally they test out at like roughly like 27, 28, some even 30 milligrams, but we just stick to 25. So you're actually getting more than what you want. So that's awesome. So thank you for supporting Shell Shock CBD. Now let me get to the principle of what I was saying, or the point of the matter. The CarMax gave us $14,000, and a lot of you had some really great suggestions at first. And then it started turning stupid, as the internet does. I'm going to be a real prick today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be a real prick. I'm not pulling any punches on this. Some of you really need to get educated on what the military includes in regards to fallen service members, because I understand that your heart is in the right place, but you were saying some very ignorant shit, and it needs to be addressed. And I'm going to do it in a drill sergeant manner, because that's the only way that people seem to listen, is that when somebody acts like a dickhead, it's like, that guy's such a prick, but then it's like, but that's actually a good quote, but fuck that guy. So here we go. The $14,000, we decided we're going to pick 7 families and give them $2,000 a pop. The first giveaway is open for everybody. You can subscribe. You can enter to win. I shouldn't say enter to win. I don't like saying that because it makes it sound like, oh, tag 3. No, we're not doing that. It's just that if you want to apply, if you're going through a really difficult time right now financially, we're doing our best to help everybody. So the first one is to everybody, and we're doing it every week. And the second one is going to be to veteran families only. Now, here is the link if you want to enter. I'm posting the link. I'm spamming it. There it is. If you want to enter, it's free. There's no strings attached. Don't tag anybody. If you want to refer a friend, you can, but they have to be the ones to email us. It can't be through you. It has to, because we're going to also call these people and hold little interviews. Now, instantly of posting this on my social medias, and I fucking knew this was coming, and I still let it get to me. You try and do something good. You try and do something good. You know, and people come in and they just want to just shit all over it with their supposedly good idea fairies. And it's like a flashback of being in the military. It's like, hey, we have this really good idea. Who can we bring in to shit all over it and just adulterate it to the point where it's not even recognizable anymore? Instantly, I'm met with, well, I know 13 families that could use that money. Okay. Let me educate you on something. Pay attention, America, because a lot of you have these great fucking ideas that you don't know jack shit about. With all due respect to the fallen service members, those families are getting paid almost $500,000. The service group life insurance policy pays out $400,000 and covers funeral expenses. So while you think you're putting out a good idea, you're actually taking away from those that need it more. Financially, not emotionally, financially. You need to educate yourselves on this. You really need to do that. And for those sharing the GoFundMes of these families, it's noble, I understand it, but you need to understand something. They have almost $500,000. There are other families out there that need it more. So again, I know your heart is in the right place, but I'm here to educate you. Y'all need to look this stuff up, because you go throwing out these good ideas, and some of these people don't know any better. And they're going to buy into it. So when you start these GoFundMes for these families are getting massive payouts. And I'm not against it. Well-deserved. I hate saying it that way because it's so fucking just... It's a difficult topic to address, but it's true. They're getting paid over almost $500,000. And they are very well compensated and taken care of. Now, of course, that $500,000 is not going to last you very long. In today's society, with the inflation coming the way it is under the Biden administration, that'll last you a few years. But that gives them more than enough financial wiggle room to supplement the income somehow. So, again, when you are proposing these wonderful ideas, you don't know what you're talking about, and you need to stop. You need to fucking stop. Because no one has balls enough to be that asshole. I'll be the fucking asshole. I'll be the asshole, man. I'll be the bad guy. No, I'm not donating it to the 13 families. They're taken care of. I want to go to other people that don't have that kind of money. So, great ideas. Shut the fuck up. Thank you. We're going to move on from that. And then, of course, you got people out there like, well, the families in Louisiana could really use it. Have them write in. Like, what do you want me to do here? Like, I'm like, bro, like it baffles my mind how you can try and do something good. And one dude's like, you should personally go visit every family that you give the money to. Let me get right on that. Let me just buy 7 fucking plane tickets and travel all across the goddamn country. Meanwhile, running a business, doing a podcast, taking care of my own shit. Let me just drop everything because apparently that's not enough. And we got to have, you should do more. Well, then sell your car. Sell your car. Stop telling daddy how to fuck. Okay? I built this plane. How about you let me fucking fly it? Does that work? Is that okay? Can I do that? Is that all right? Okay, I think we're good. I think we're moving on. I'm sorry. I had to get that out of my fucking system. I hate you motherfuckers. I really do. I loathe you. You are the spectators literally telling the men and women in the arena how they should fight. Instead, shut the fuck up and go do it your goddamn self. Until I see you selling off your fucking car or doing whatever, shut the fuck up. And yes, this comes across as insanely arrogant and egotistical, and I really don't fucking care. Because if you like me, you like me. If you don't, what the fuck ever. You're still tuning in. I don't give a shit. That's just the point of the matter. Someone's got to be the asshole. It might as well be me. That's just me. Using the GD word is using God's name in vain. Hey, Kathleen Fields, shut the fuck up and get the fuck off my channel. Dumb cunt. Blocked. Okay, I gotta stop reading comments. I'll read the comments on Twitch. Twitch is good. YouTube, you fucking boomers get on my goddamn nerves. Oh, I said it again. Sorry. You fucking morons. And I'm gonna say another thing here. We are creating a pattern here. I'm not against people speaking out. 100% we should be speaking out on the issues that are impacting the military and the police force. But I'm going to say something. There is a trend growing, and mark my words, it will continue to escalate. When somebody clearly violates Army regulations or DOD policy or law enforcement policy, and they make a video in uniform condemning those in their services, and then they get fired or they get relieved of command, and the next thing you know, they're setting up a GoFundMe and they're raking in hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is going to continue to be a trend. When you set up a GoFundMe, because your career, you sacrifice, and it's a noble, I support it, it's awesome. But then when you turn around and set up a GoFundMe, it's no longer a sacrifice. Now you're going to make bank. Mark my words. No one's saying this. No one has the balls to say this, but I'm fucking saying it. And people, you get up in arms about, oh my God, we need to raise money for them. No. That kind of undermines the whole idea of sacrificing the career, like the lieutenant colonel in the Marines. This dude's fucking amazing. This guy basically resigned his commission and said, basically, I read the resignation letter. It was great. He said, no more confidence in my chain of command. I was like, fuck yes. Fuck yes. And then instantly people are like, get a GoFundMe for him. No, stop. You are creating a pattern. And then it's wonderful that people are going to do it, but now they're going to be doing it for the wrong reasons because they know there's a payout coming. If I sacrifice my career, I'm going to clear roughly $500,000 in GoFundMe. Oh, some strong words to say, ladies and gentlemen, but mark my words, it's already happening. That's the problem. That's the problem. So you just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. That's the problem there. So that's where we're at right now. Just keep that in mind. And yes, you can demonize me. You can fucking say, I really don't fucking care. But it's the damn truth. Stop removing their sacrifices by trying to throw money at every literal fucking problem there is. It's not going to fix that.
It needed to be said.
It needed to be said. And I'm the motherfucker to say it. I'm always a motherfucker to say it.
I wouldn't imagine that he didn't have a backup plan.
Oh, absolutely he did. He's a smart dude.
Yeah.
I would love to get him on the show, but I'm sure everybody and their mom's trying to get an interview with him, especially probably like Joe Rogan. He's gonna be like, Rogan's going to be there like as soon as he hands in the interview letters, like, what are your thoughts? Like, good for Rogan. But no, that's where we stand right now. Okay. So that's the giveaway. So when you come on my page, I'm just warning you right now. When you say you should do this, I'm blocking you. I'm blocking you. You have no business dictating to other people what they should be doing with their money. If you don't like it that much, you can do it yourself. Fair enough. All right, moving on. Sponsorships on the podcast. We've been getting a lot of questions about that. We're not charging for sponsorships. If you are a veteran-owned company, now listen, if you are a veteran-owned company and you would like to sponsor an episode, you simply have to send us your product so we can test it and make sure it's good. Frontier Coffee Company, veteran-owned. I don't know if he's a Green Beret. I think he's a Ranger, a good dude, good motherfucker. I do a lot of shout-outs for him on Instagram. He sends us coffee. He doesn't pay me. He's a good dude. If you are a veteran-owned company and you would like to sponsor an episode on the podcast or two, whatever, send us your product. The address is on the Shell Shock CBD website and the Shell Shock CBD Instagram page. Now, I'm going to be creating an Instagram page for the podcast to post updates and stuff like that. So keep that in mind. But if you would like to send in your product to have it featured on the show, no charge. Just send us the products. We can actually test it. Make sure it works, because I do not want to promote a product that tastes like shit. And I believe we have just been blessed with the pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks. Easy Black Rifle coffee, cultists. Easy. Like, calm down. I know. But, oh my God. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, you drink Starbucks? They hate veterans, as they employ like 26,000 veterans and send so much fucking coffee overseas during the never-ending wars, and because people don't do their fucking research. So we just want to hate Starbucks because we just want to be mad at leftists. So, hey, John, you need to drop everything, get your ass to the White House. You and Candace Owens could run the world. Nah, don't think so. I'm not really a race baiter. Not my thing. Okay, let's get into it. So again, one more time, you can reach out to us. The address to send it to, if you want us to sponsor your product or to show it on the show, it's 1601 North Glenville Drive, Unit A108.
Yep. Keep going. You got it.
And the zip code, I don't know. I never know the zip code.
75081.
75081. So 1601 North Glenville Drive, Unit 108. That's our storefront, by the way. So if you're in the DFW area and you want to drop by to Shell Shock and take a tour of the facility, you're more than welcome to come by. We're shaking babies and kissing hands. So send out your product there. And if it's anthrax, I'll make sure Josh opens it. And because we've had some questionable packages come through.
Smells so good.
We've had some questionable packages come through. It's like, you know what, Josh? Why don't you open this? Because it's addressed to me. So, all right. There we have it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, right here in my hand, I am holding my very first pumpkin spice latte of the season. That's right. I'm a basic bro, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. No, this is not a plug for Starbucks. I just love the pumpkin spice lattes they have. So Black Rifle, if you come out with a pumpkin spice latte, please let me know. All right, we ready for this? First sip. The first sip of magic of fall. And magically, I'm going to start wearing leggings and Ugg boots and wearing those weird fucking cowboy hats that all these blonde women wear, like Tommy Lahren and the rest of those weirdos that fucking, oh my God, spice. Whatever, here we go. Oh, God, I feel like I just sucked a pumpkin's dick. It's amazing. I feel like fall just blew a load in my mouth. And that's why we're never going to be on Fox. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. McCarthy warns telecom and social media companies that comply with January 6th committee records requests. All right. I think many people are now, I've been watching the pulse on social media, and I think many people now are getting really fed up with the GOP and their empty threats. Essentially, the gist of this is House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy on Tuesday issued a veiled threat to companies that cooperated with the House Select Committee investigation. The deadly January 6th, I love how they say this, the very deadly January 6th riots at the U.S. Capitol, warning that a Republican majority will not forget. What are you going to do? Like, what the fuck are you going to do? Even I'm tired of these toothless barks. You were in majority under Trump for the longest fucking time, and you did nothing. You had some congressional testimonies, but it was literally all bark and no bite. Nobody's listening to you anymore. Nobody's listening to you anymore. I mean, honestly, the title of the spineless GOP is really starting to resonate with people. It's like you had them, you did nothing. So what do you expect the people to do or believe? Like, you make these fucking we won't forget. We won't forget. You've had
We'll bring it up the next election.
Yeah, we will.
We'll do it.
People are getting fed up. Like, Republicans are getting fed up with the GOP, and they're failed to act on many different things when they have the majority. Big tech being a big one. So the premise behind this is if these basically what they're saying is all these big tech social media companies are giving out personal information to investigating units. I don't think it's the FBI. I forget who it is. That basically are saying that we're going to divulge emails, all this stuff, and essentially violate private rights of people, like all kinds of stuff. And this dude's basically saying we're not going to forget. Yes, you will. Half you dudes got like one freaking foot in the grave and one on the other one on a banana peel. Like really? Like Mitch McConnell, you got like what, 3 good years left and you're done? Like for life? Good? Fucking turtle looking son of a bitch. Oh, that's by hold on. I don't know the Mitch McConnell impersonation, but if these companies comply with Democrat order to turn over private information, they are in violation of federal law and subject to losing their ability to operate in the United States. Yes, the government needs to stop protecting big tech. This has been something that the argument was that we should not be getting involved in private enterprise. I respect that. But then when you have government force fields covering your ass, that's right, I said force fields, then it's bullshit. All bets are off. Do you notice a trend here that every single fucking thing that the government gets involved in, they fuck up? Medicare, Afghanistan, fucking academia, big tech. You're protecting these motherfuckers. So where is the shift in balance? Oh, by the way, you can't sue for the vaccine being a fuck up. If the vaccine fucks you up, you can't sue. That's government mandated.
Yeah, but you're going to have to get it.
You can suck my left star-spangled nut, and I should probably get that checked out if it's star-spangled. It's probably cancer. If companies still choose to violate federal law, a Republican majority will not forget and will stand with Americans to hold them fully accountable under the law. You had years to do this. When they were censoring people on the right, left and right, when Diamond and Silk got taken down, when all these big names on social media were taken down, censored, shadow banned multiple times, you said nothing. You did nothing. I mean, you did say, even Ted Cruz crucified Zuckerberg, but even, I remember when we watched that, like Cruz is just fucking railing. He like bends Zuckerberg over the table, doesn't even spit and says, bite the pillow, bitch. But that was it.
That was all.
It was a great optic. It looked wonderful. Okay. But the GOP doesn't, like, what are you doing? Like, what the fuck do you do? People are getting tired of this. They're getting very fed up with it, and justifiably so. People have lost faith in the GOP to fight back. They really have. They talk a big fucking game, but then they don't.
Yeah, that's why Trump got elected.
Mm-hmm. And I loved how many of those GOP people like hated Trump at first, and then as soon as Trump gets the win, they start kissing his ass.
Yeah, it was just a continuous thing of just keep saying you're going to do something, you're going to do something, you're going to build a wall, you're going to move the embassy, you're going to do this.
He did though.
Yeah.
And
then here you have a president that comes in and
does it.
Yeah. So
I think a lot of the people in the GOP did not like him because essentially he made them look really fucking bad.
They're career politicians.
Yeah. That's the one thing I do respect about Trump. And I honestly hope he does run again in 2024 just to see Democrats shit themselves. Just to be like, oh, fuck, here we go.
I'd like to see it just to see the country prosper again.
Yeah.
Just to see lower gas prices and
I'm
secure
wondering,
border. And
you think DeSantis is going to run in 2024?
I don't know. If he does,
that's going to be rough.
Big.
That would be honestly.
I'd vote for him if Trump didn't. He did.
What if Trump and him ran on the same ticket?
Yeah, I just don't see that happening.
You don't think so? That's like
how
too
does that
alpha.
Benefit DeSantis? He's such a great guy. He's a great governor of Florida.
Yeah, VP though.
What?
There ain't no way Trump's taking a backseat, but people are talking about DeSantis. People are even talking about Crenshaw making it around. I don't think Crenshaw's going to run for president.
This is
I don't know.
His first term, right?
Yeah, he's up for re-election, I think, in midterms.
Okay.
I'll be talking to him about that on the podcast or on the show with him on Friday.
Yeah, it's pretty early to.
McCarthy's office would not provide CNN with a specific federal statute that a company would be in violation of if complied with a duly impaneled congressional committee. The select committee took its first steps in the investigatory process on Monday, requesting that more than 30 social media and telecommunication companies preserve the phone records of certain lawmakers and members of former President Donald Trump's orbit who played some role in Stop the Steal rally that served as a prelude to the Capitol insurrection. It is mind-boggling to me how much we are twisting and distorting the facts, that essentially they're going after people for just being at the rally. The rally, Trump never called, and I think people that watch me and listen know very well that I'm not going to be biased towards Trump, But I remember streaming on Twitch on January 6th. We had like over 1,000 viewers. Mm-hmm. We saw no incitement.
No.
Trump didn't say, and people are basically trying to take and use words kind of like, go down there and fight for what you believe in.
Peacefully protest.
Peacefully. He's not talking saying go down there and actually kick it. He said peacefully use your First Amendment right. He literally said.
It's not even an argument at this point. I mean, it's to keep arguing that same point that he went out and it's not even worth it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Trump never did that. But now, according to Democrats, this sets a very bad precedent because now the Democrats en masse don't like you. They're going to try and utilize the system to paint you as this tyrannical, oppressive, revolutionary, which I think the majority of us are, honestly, is because we're fucking revolutionaries because we go against what their narrative is. Mm-hmm. But they're going to try and use every tactic in the book to paint you as being a legitimate dictator. Mm-hmm. They're going to try and do all this stuff to showcase that you literally called for violence. Now there's an article circulating where Madison Cawthorn is kind of doing that. I got to find it for him. I got to find it. I just saw it. But essentially Madison Cawthorn is going on there saying, like, there could be blood. And it's like, I'll say that all fucking day, but as a sitting congressman, it's like, you probably shouldn't say that.
Yeah, there's already been blood.
Oh, yeah, they're true.
Since for the past, 4 years, ever since Antifa started, marching through the streets, burning buildings down.
Yeah, why is nobody investigating that?
Here in Dallas, all over the country, burning buildings down.
Why was there no investigation into the BLM riots? Like, Democrats, you want to talk about where Democrats lie? If it's anything related to black people, they back off. They're just using them as pawns as it is. They're just going to use their blackness and their wokeness to just utilize them as little pawns. They say, oh, if you're black, Republicans hate you. They're racist. Come vote for Democrats. We're going to give you change. And then, meanwhile, they're burning down your fucking, white liberals are burning down your fucking cities, your businesses, your black businesses. They're costing you millions in fucking insurance across the state. And then what? Where's the investigations on that?
Yeah, you want to help a low-income neighborhood? Because, I mean, I'm sure there's more than just black people that live in, poor neighborhoods. So
yeah, they're called trailer parks.
Yeah. Go start, picking up trash. Start doing something around the neighborhood.
Nah,
you have to burn it down. You have to burn it to the ground to help them out.
Fuck that. We're not doing that. That shit's ridiculous. Why the fuck would we do that?
It's easier just to set everything on fire rather than to pick up a bunch of trash.
I just really wish that fucking black people on the Democratic side would wake the fuck up and realize you're just being used as pawns. They're just using you for your skin color because they know that you're going to vote based upon that. Which is also very racist, if you think about it. If you don't vote for me, you're not black. And they still voted for him. Like, just mind-boggling to me. Mind-boggling to me. But meanwhile, majority white liberals can burn down these buildings. Where's the investigation? Democrats instead want to focus on the GOP. So it's not about justice. It's about a vigilante, vindictive fucking bias you're trying to pursue. To try, Trump's out of office, but I honestly think that they are worried. I think Democrats are really worried because I think in 2022 midterms,
can we get away with cheating again? On such a massive level.
It is going to beg the question that if there is speculation that the elections are rigged again, we are in for some very, very interesting times ahead. Is all I'm going to say. Fool me once. Poo-poo on you. Fool me again.
Give me number 3.
Fucking war, baby. We're going to go liberate Washington, D.C. I heard they have oil in the White House. We're going to go invade. Texas 6-week abortion ban. You want to know what a great news article is when Alyssa Milano is tweeting out about this Texas bill that just got passed. Texas 6-week abortion ban takes effect after the Supreme Court inaction. I like how CNN says inaction, meaning they didn't do anything about it. A controversial Texas law that bars abortions at 6 weeks went into effect early Wednesday morning after the Supreme Court and a federal appeals court failed to rule on pending emergency requests brought by abortion providers. The lack of judicial intervention means that the law, which is one of the strictest in the nation and bans abortion before many people know they are pregnant, goes into force absent further court intervention. So you know what this means? If you're having unprotected sex and you're not sure if you're pregnant, maybe get tested. Like, I don't know, just go to the store, buy a piss test, piss on it a few times within that 6-week interim. Possibly, maybe because you know, fucking Zoe's all over the.
She's Joe Biden.
If you're watching on the Twitch stream, you'll see my cat Zoe behind. Like, she is a very friendly. Oh my god,
getting uncomfortably close.
Dude, she is on top of you.
Look, Joe.
She's straight Joe Bidening you. She's like sniffing you. Now she's rubbing her ass on you.
You from around here?
She's gonna take a picture of her dick and send it to you, and it's an Anthony Weiner shot. There we go. Oh, my God. The law all allows private citizens to bring civil lawsuits against anyone who assists a pregnant person seeking an abortion in violation of the ban. No other 6-week ban has been allowed to go into effect even briefly. What ultimately happens to this law remains to be seen, said CNN Supreme Court analyst and University of Texas Law School professor Steve Vladeck. But now, through their action, the justices have let the tightest abortion restriction since Roe v. Wade be enforced for at least some period of time. The case comes as the justices are poised in the upcoming term to rule on the constitutionality of Mississippi law that bars abortion at 15 weeks. Will you just help yourself, Zoe? And this is where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. So here's how it works. You know how you said Joe Biden's your president? If you're in Texas, you don't like this, move. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry that we're saving children's lives here. Sorry. If you don't like it, move.
Yeah, I don't understand the argument that Republicans don't care about the babies after they're born.
No,
I'm not sure where that comes from.
Well,
so are you saying like the better argument is to murder them?
Mm-hmm.
Look, it's better just to...
You don't care about them after they're born. No, we care about them having the ability to live a life, and then you actually have responsibilities and take care of the being that you created. And I know that falls on deaf ears with Democrats because you always go to the government when you fuck something up. Like, well, how can the government save me? And then people also bring up the rape cases and incestual, which is like less than it's like a single percentile. So they're trying to basically use the smallest argument to frame the foundation of a bigger picture, which is very inaccurate. So that argument in itself, it's kind of like it's the same argument as like obese people. So well, a lot of them aren't obese because they're on medication. Yeah, but the overall majority are not. So your argument is framed in it's like a bad faith argument. Like, stop trying to take the minimal percentile and making that the focal point. You're wrong. You know you're wrong, and you're not gonna fucking admit it because why? You're Democrats. That's what you do. That's how you are. Penis. The case comes as justices are blah, blah, blah. Under the Texas law, abortion is prohibited when a fetal heartbeat is detected, which is often before a woman knows she is pregnant. There is no exception for rape or incest, although there is an exemption for medical emergencies. Abortion providers asked the justices to block the ban while legal challenges played out because they argue that if there were to go into full effect, it would immediately and catastrophically reduce abortion access in Texas. That's kind of the whole point of the ban. But all you have to really do is just go to a neighboring state and get your abortion. It just means you got to travel a couple hundred miles. I mean, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it. But still, you're murdering babies, but whatever.
Yeah, I just don't want my tax dollars being...
Yeah, like I'm tired of paying for... I don't want to pay for your health care. If you want to stuff cheese pills or fat pills down your fucking mouth and then you want to go die of heart disease, I don't want to foot the bill. If you want to smoke and get heart disease or lung cancer, I don't want to foot the bill. If you want to go have unprotected sex and be irresponsible, I don't want to fit the bill. And the weirdest part about this, and I know this is anecdotal, but in my 37 years on this earth, I've never had to have an abortion with the women I've been with because either she's using the IUD, and the first time my first wife had that, I thought it was an IED. I'm like, wait, what? Like they're putting an IUD. And then birth control, condoms, God forbid.
If you can't figure out how a condom works, then you shouldn't be having sex anyway.
But it just doesn't feel good. Well, then do it in the butt. Like, just stop murdering babies. I don't know. So you can say what you want, but thank God this went into effect. So baby murderers, hit the road, get out of Texas. Especially, maybe that'll make a lot of Californians move. That'll be great.
Oh, that would be great.
We don't even really want them here in Texas anyway. So I mean, unless you just you're a Republican.
You're for freedom.
Yeah.
Low taxes.
Yeah.
And staying out of everybody else's business.
And people automatically go to, well, it's a woman's choice. It's a woman's choice to commit murder. Why is it that if a woman's pregnant and she's murdered or something, that dude or whomever can be charged for a double homicide? Then it's a life.
That's right.
Then it's a life. But if it's not, well, then it's not a life. Then it's a woman's choice. What about the man's choice? It takes two to do the vertical tango. It's my body, my choice. No, it's not your body. It's a foreign body living inside of you. You're an incubator. That's how it works.
Yeah, you rented your body out.
And trans that are pregnant, you're still a woman. Sorry. That's just the way it works. If you don't like it, fucking tough. And I'm not changing my opinion on that one. Weird. Abortion access has already been curtailed by the ban by the time Wednesday morning rolled around. Whole Women's Health, which operates clinics in McAllen, McKinney, Austin, and Fort Worth, and led the federal lawsuit challenge the ban, said that it was only offering the procedure if no embryonic or fetal cardiac activity is detected in the sonogram. And you know damn well they're going to manipulate that. It's like, oh, I didn't hear a heartbeat. Murder that thing.
Yeah.
Murder it.
Get these new machines from China.
Mm-hmm. China, yep. And it's also going to give your baby COVID. Oh, that's going to trigger some people, but whatever. The Supreme Court's failure to respond prompted a furious backlash from supporters of abortion rights just after the law went into effect. Too bad. Deal with it. Access to almost all abortion has just been cut off for millions of people. The impact will be immediate and devastating, the ACLU said in a tweet. Oh, and here comes the racist accusation. Was racist because it unfairly targets minorities. Really? So minorities fuck more than white people? Is that what you're saying? Like, I always love this. I always love this. People always go that. It affects minority, like Texas and Georgia voter ID laws. Well, this unfairly impacts minorities disproportionately because they don't have the same. You're telling me that black people can't go get a fucking ID that's free? Are you saying that they're that stupid? Even black people are like, are you fucking for real? Like, you really think that we're that? Like, Joe Biden was talking about, like, they might not be able to use the internet. Biden, bro, shut the fuck up. Why do we continue treating minorities like they're stupid? Like, sincerely, I mean this. These are human. Like, you're the same as white people. They don't have access. What? What? What do you mean you don't have access? Every single motherfucker that posts these videos of, like, some black dude beating the fuck out of a cop, you're doing it from a fucking iPhone that's valued at, like, $500 to $1,000. Like, shut the fuck up. I'm so tired of hearing this bullshit. It's the same tripe and dribble over and over and over. Now, if you want to talk about like economic inequality, we can have that discussion. Absolutely. Inheritance and generational wealth passed down, 100%. I didn't get it, but it's something that can be debated. I respect that. But to sit there and think that fucking people are just so ignorant that they can't have access to an ID, meanwhile they can go get a driver's license? Really? Okay. That's ridiculous to me. That's just mind-blowing. This episode is brought to you by Shell Shock CBD. Hey, does Texas banning abortion trigger some anxiety? Does it make you feel all weird inside? Well, ShellShockCBD.com can help you with that anxiety. And by the way, Delta 8 sex is the best sex there is. When you're fucking on Delta 8, oh my goodness, you're going to see lightning, stars. You're going to explore the galaxies while you're getting your nut on. So check us out at Shell. Oh
Just make sure you wear protection.
Just make sure you wear protection, or she's got an IUD, or you do the machine gun theory method of you just pray and spray. So there's that. You can try that. So ShellShockCBD.com, ladies and gentlemen. Use code Burke and you'll save yourself 10%. This week we're featuring the Rack Out Gummies. They are right here on your screen. These are 15 milligrams of CBD and 5 milligrams of mellow motherfucking tonin. These things, we call them the Cardi B gummies because they will knock you the fuck out and steal your wallet. If you can't sleep, you have problems staying asleep and then, falling asleep, that can help. So give us a shot. One gummy will, bro, it'll knock you the fuck out. It'll knock you the fuck out.
They're good.
They're amazing. Good. They taste great. That's the other part, is like they taste so fucking good you want to take more. Start with one gummy, folks. Start with one gummy. Don't go two. So I'm going to have it on good authority. Some members of Congress might be taking our stuff, so that's pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. That's pretty awesome. So we're growing. We're growing very fast. That's what she said. Just got to rub it a little bit, or look at it, or spit on it, or blow on it, whatever. Or just spit in my mouth and pull my hair and call me Sally. So that's why we're never going to be on Fox. ShellShockCBD.com. Again, Rack Out Gummies. Check them out. Code Burke saves you 10%, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. All right, moving on. Biggest thing in the news right now, of course, everybody's watching this, is what's going on in Afghanistan. Now, I want to address some things that are circulating on the internet that people just don't seem to understand. I need to have like a more professional approach to stuff, but I'm 37 years old. I'm kind of set in my ways. I'm not changing, so it is what it is. Here we go. For you fucking idiots out there that keep saying that we abandoned all this equipment, no, we didn't. I don't like Biden. I do not like Biden. I do not like the Biden administration. I think they've handled this whole thing in a very unprofessional and ignorant manner. I am no Biden supporter. And the reason I have to preface it with that is because when you speak out and basically calling the GOP out on its bullshit, or Republicans, instantaneously, who did you vote for? You sound like a liberal. Somebody get the tar and feathering. Like, God forbid you think outside of party lines. So I have to preface it every single fucking time. I don't like Biden. I didn't vote for Biden. But that wasn't Biden's fault. The thing that blows my mind is that we all saw this happen together. Does anybody know what the president of Afghanistan did when the Taliban emerged?
Fled with about $126 million.
And what did he tell the military to do? Stand down. Biden didn't give that order. In fact, Biden probably told him the opposite, like, stop being a bitch and take your boys that we've trained for 20 years and fucking fight, you pussies. Stop fucking the goats and go fight.
He bear some responsibility to have some sort of intel that would tell him that
he did
that was going to happen?
But also, that's not good. But how is that his fault? That's the Afghanis army and the president for not standing up and fighting for their country.
I'm going to say it's his fault.
Because you hate Biden.
Well, just because he's...
But
I think he had the information. Like, he was talking to George Stephanopoulos.
But even if he had the information, how does that alleviate the responsibility of what the Afghani army and commanders and president should do? How's that? That's like saying
maybe he's going to say, well, if they're not going to take care of this stuff, maybe we should.
No, absolutely. We've been doing that for 20 years. At some point, it's sink or swim.
Let's go ahead and disable this equipment. Let's make sure that they don't get any of these weapons and become a full-fledged army.
Are you talking about Biden or the Afghani president?
I think it's all together.
I don't think so.
They merged them.
I don't think so. Because it'd be like, okay,
so
say
my humble opinion.
Well, you fucking ignorant slut. No, because it'd be like me going to your house and training you for a fight. Right. And then you go to that fight and you run away from it, and then people are blaming me for it. It's like, how is that my fault?
Well, I think that's more like you're training me for a fight to defend you and your family.
No, they're defending Afghanistan. They're defending Afghanistan. And then if they defend Afghanistan, it works in our favor.
You have to defend yourself, but then, if you have some weapons over there that you're leaving, like, hey, don't let this guy get these weapons.
Well, yeah, of course.
All of us. Yeah.
But the point being, though, is that the president told the military to stand down, and the Taliban came in and took over.
I'm not saying that he's not to blame, but I'm saying Joe Biden bears at least 75% of the responsibility
for the pullout.
Yeah.
Oh, he bears 100% of the responsibility. But as far as the Taliban takeover, that's on the Afghans. Like, I can't blame Joe Biden on that. And the equipment that we left behind, that was the Afghan army handing it over. He was handing it over. I mean, I can't fault Biden for that. I can't. So when people are saying that we willfully left this stuff, it's like, we didn't. The Afghan army did. The Afghanistan president, who, by the way, I'm not seeing any media pieces on this guy. I'm not seeing any social media. I'm not seeing any CNN, Fox, MSNBC, Breitbart. Nobody's running pieces on this pussy. Nobody. This dude grabbed a chopper full of fucking money and ran to the Russian embassy and like, deuces. And this is what we dealt with for fucking years. A&A were worthless soldiers. I'll admit it. Like, the A&A were worthless fucking soldiers. It was like it was babysitting. But at how many times are we going to get involved in these things? Like, it's like sitting there saying that if they're never going to be able to stand up for themselves, are we going to babysit them for the rest of their lives?
It should have been about, I don't know, $2.5 trillion ago that this war, it should have been over.
A lot of presidents to blame on that one.
Yeah, so it goes down, not just Joe Biden, but he's the last one holding the bag. But it was his responsibility if he's going to talk a big game, but the thing saying this is what's going to happen and tell everybody this is what's happening up until the point of what actually happens when you have explosions going off and terrorists killing people and people left behind. And
so the ISIS comes back. And
yeah. I mean,
even Trump said he defeated ISIS, and I sat there. I remember we called it. I was like, Trump didn't defeat ISIS.
He beat him back.
He beat him back.
Yeah, they weren't doing anything.
He beat him off. Yeah.
He beat him off with both hands.
He pushed them back, but to sit there and say that you've defeated ISIS or you defeated the Taliban or you defeated Al Qaeda, no, you haven't. You're just keeping them at bay. I was like, these people have not been defeated. And that's what people don't seem to understand. So it's always, and it's the left and the right both do it. Like, Republicans were hailing this as a major victory win against ISIS. Like, you've just stalled them is all you've done. They're like little fucking cockroaches. They hang out in the dark and they just sit in their caves and they wait.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what the Taliban did. Like, when ISIS hit Iraq and they came in a force of like over 100,000 strong in a matter of like 2 weeks, you don't muster an army of that size in 2 weeks. They were waiting. Taliban, same thing. And I think the numbers were like the Afghan army numbered anywhere between 300,000 to 250,000, and the Taliban only numbered like 75,000. Yeah. So that leads us into the next rumor that's going around. It's like, well, the Afghans couldn't fight because they didn't have air support because Biden pulled it. Are you telling me that, seasoned soldier here, I can tell you on how many hands, 2 hands, how many times we went outside that gate and got in firefights without air support or air coverage? Don't try and fucking simp for the Afghan army. Now, I'm not blaming them all. The leadership failed. The president failed. But don't you dare sit there and dictate to combat veterans that you can't fight without air support. How about you stop being a fucking bitch? Grab your fucking rifles and go do what you got to do. We did numerous times in cities where there was no artillery coverage. There was no fixed ring or rotary wing coverage. You had nothing. So to sit there and say that because you don't have air support you can't fight, neither did the Taliban. And you outnumbered them almost 3-1. Like, don't sit there and preach to me this bullshit of tactics that people don't even know about. You can't fight because you don't have air support. Meanwhile, the Taliban have been fighting from fucking caves and flip-flops with PKMs and man jammies and been whooping our ass. But they didn't have air support. But suddenly we can't? Like, wow.
They want it.
They wanted it more.
They wanted it more. And now they got weapons.
Now they are a legitimate army.
Yeah.
Now they're a legitimate, like, people don't understand. We read the stats on yesterday's podcast. Something like over 80 artillery pieces, over like 300,000 fucking M16s, M4s.
Did you see the one
ridiculous?
The reporter that was walking through the base, and they were just looking at all their new inventory, airplanes, Humvees.
And that
they were wearing military uniforms.
They were wearing our shit. Yeah.
Yep.
But that leads to the other question. People are saying, why didn't we disable the equipment? Because the Afghans had the equipment. And they tucked tail and run. There was nobody left to disable it. There were no Americans there to disable it.
It's the Afghans' fault, but at the end of the day, if the American government is in there with their hands meddling around and doing stuff, then it's their responsibility to make sure that shit doesn't happen. I just that's my personal opinion on it.
I can't agree with that.
You could say, yeah, they should take responsibility, but you know they're not going to take responsibility. And if you know that they're not going to take responsibility, then you need to go over there and make sure that you do as much as you can so they're as unlethal as possible, so they're not going to take these weapons.
Okay, so you
start murdering people.
You could have a point there in response to, like, so you're saying is Biden should have done a 180 and sent fucking drones to start bombing our equipment to disable it.
Something
that I could actually agree with. But also it also
make sure you get everybody out. But you said you were.
But we also closed down a lot of the airfields. We didn't have control of Bagram, so there was no place to launch these things from.
Why did they close down Bagram?
That's another good point. That's the withdrawal process.
Yeah,
I can agree with you on that one. Yes.
I mean, so
and they left in the middle of the night too. Like I remember when that came out. Like.
And they left people over there. Several hundred people.
That he's at fault for, yes.
At least, at minimum, several hundred people.
That he's at fault for.
You know, there could be more.
But to sit there and say that.
Telling Stephanopoulos on that show that everybody's going to get back. Everybody who wants to get out, it's like, who's going to want to stay and deal with the Taliban?
To be fair, that was 4 or 5 days ago. That was 4 or 5 days ago, to be fair. I'm just saying, like.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a.
Fucking do it, bro. But that's the other point that I'm trying to make is that. Like, how many American men and women are going to die for a nation who their populace won't stand up and fight?
Yeah.
It's the same as Vietnam.
No, I agree. It should have been over $2.5 trillion ago. But you have everybody making money on it.
But the other thing is Trump talked about it, but he reduced troop strength, but he didn't withdraw.
But he was doing it the right way. I mean,
he was.
Just not
he was
go
doing.
in
Yeah,
and
he was doing it.
And pull 50,000 troops out.
A slow retrograde. Yes.
Yeah, it was down 100%. To what, like 8,000 troops.
It was less than that. It was like 5,000. Yeah, it was. He had like minimal force.
He was
there.
Negotiating. He was talking to him.
And then Biden,
they started to mess up a little bit.
Which leads us into the next point that you're going into was Biden's speech. Did you watch Biden's speech yesterday? Yeah, because we were at CarMax together.
Yeah.
And Biden went on there. If you didn't watch the speech, I encourage you to go watch it. But he talked about that. He addressed that. He basically sat there and talked about. He was sucking his own dick, and I have never seen somebody deflect so much responsibility. And then he brings up Trump, and he basically says, well, Trump negotiated with the Taliban. It's like, yeah, but what did he negotiate? He actually negotiated a good fucking deal.
Right.
Like, we hadn't lost anybody since February of 2021, I think. I think it was February of this year. We haven't lost anybody in Afghanistan. So when Biden's going on there trying to deflect to Trump, it's like you're shooting yourself in the foot. You're just giving a very vague example of like, well, Trump negotiated with the Taliban. He negotiated a ceasefire. There's nothing wrong with that. If you can negotiate with your enemy, he basically said, we're leaving soon, so let's fucking calm the fuck down, folks.
Is it weird that he's doing these live interviews at 3 o'clock?
Yeah.
In the afternoon?
Probably right before he goes to bed.
Yeah, why is he not doing it at prime time? Why is it?
You know why?
Why is it?
You know exactly
because
why.
Because dinner's at 4.
He's ducking MS, and he refuses to answer any questions. He refuses to answer any questions. It's crazy to me.
Who's that? I don't know. Who's running the show?
That's the other point.
Who's running the show?
If Biden basically says they told me I can't answer questions, who is they?
Yeah.
Who is they? I want to know who they is. So. Thank you for the $5 donation on YouTube from EDW. He says, we should not have left our bases until we got our people out. I fucking agree. I didn't even know that we still had people there. Because when it was like a month ago when they said we left in the dead of night from Bagram, I didn't know that we still had Americans there. I don't think anybody really did. And then the news hits of like, oh no, we still have people there. It's like, well, where did this come from? I thought we evacuated everybody. But this also leads to another point of the Biden's administration, their intelligence legitimately did not believe the Taliban was going to come back and take over. That's why they left people there, which was a stupid fucking move. Because anybody with boots on the ground would tell you. It's like, they're coming back, and they're going to come back stronger. They want this country. And look, they took Afghanistan in less than, like, what, a week?
Was it that much?
You can even.
I thought it was like 15 minutes. Where they just, as soon as there was an announcement made.
Boom, 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 boom. But the other thing is, if you go on Wikipedia right now, it already has the War of Afghanistan with the beginning and end date, and then it labels it as the Taliban victory.
Wikipedia is like
the
worst.
I know. They're fucking It's like when you cite Wikipedia as your source, like okay, bro.
All right. It's like.
It was the same as pushing that little childhood toy with a little spinner in the middle, and you push down the thing, and so the clock says.
Well, the Babylon Bee was reporting.
I got this from the Duffel blog. But no, it's serious. Like the Biden administration, the intelligence community legitimately did not think the Taliban would come back. And this is what happens when you have people in high up positions that have literally no combat experience whatsoever. None. Anybody with boots on the ground be like, Mr. President, this intelligence dude doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. And this showcases a very good point that many people don't realize. When you are so higher up in the echelon or the hierarchy of chain of command, you lose perspective of what's going on the ground, what's actually going on. You are surrounded by these officer and staff yes men. They're going to tell you what you want to hear, or they're going to tell you what you don't want to hear, but they're going to sugarcoat it and basically twist and distort it so it doesn't sound so bad because you don't want to take personal responsibility for it. That's what happens. So all these people on the ground that literally fought over these years, I'm pretty sure when Congressman Crenshaw comes on, I'm going to ask him the same questions. Like, do you think the intelligence community really knew the Taliban weren't coming back? Because even Crenshaw, I don't think believed that. I really don't.
He's pretty fired up.
He is. I mean, he has every right to be.
Yeah,
he has every right to be. But at the same time, though, like his stance on like keeping a minimal troop presence, like I don't think that's the answer. I really don't. But I want to talk to him about that. So again, you can write into the show with your questions on what you would like me to interview Congressman Crenshaw with. If you type in !question on Twitch chat, it'll populate a link. Actually, I'll just get you all the link right now. If you want to submit your questions for what you want me to ask him, please title it Questions for Crenshaw, and I will happily ask him those questions for you. Please keep them respectful. I'm not going to call him fucking names. He's a guest on the show. I respect the fact that he's even came on the show, which is amazing. This is the second time. Again, here is the link to it if you want to write in and ask your questions. It's the All American Savage Show podcast. There's a link. I'm going to spam it in the chat. If you're watching live, you get first dibs, which is amazing. I'm not asking him about red flag laws. We already covered it. It's a dead horse. I don't agree with him on it, but we're moving on. Like, I'm not going to keep bringing up these old fucking issues that you people can't seem to get over. I understand it. You have every right to be pissed off, but it's time to fucking move on. He even came back and he said he doesn't support it, even though he did. Like, he lied. He pulled a Tim Kennedy. It's like, it's not what I said. That's exactly what you said. Like, so either you say I was wrong or you double down and then, like, change it and twist it. It's like, oh, it's not what I meant. It's like, that's exactly what you fucking meant. So... who are the people in the support airlift success when Taliban owns security? Why vet them? We do not vet the southern border. It's 79. Don't get me started. Don't even get me started on that. As far as the vetting process of these refugees that we're bringing over en masse, it's like, whew, we're gonna see some bad times ahead, folks. I mean, I'm serious. It's like it could get really bad. Okay. Taliban show off captured weapons at Kandahar victory parade. Yes, they had a victory parade. What do our veterans get? Opioids. We get opioid. We don't get a victory parade.
Smoke a whole cotton of cigarettes.
Whole cotton of pine cigarettes, drink your Rippets, and put your 4th of July signs out on your front lawn. That's all we get. It sucks. It sucks. The Taliban on Wednesday showed off dozens of American-made armored vehicles along with newly seized weapons at victory celebrations in southern Afghan city of Kandahar. In videos posted on social media, the Taliban paraded hardware left behind by both Afghan and U.S. forces after the withdrawal of the last American troops left Afghanistan in the grip of a militant group. Fighters waved white Taliban flags from Humvees and armored SUVs at the military parade, where many of the vehicles appeared in near-perfect condition. The Taliban also organized an air display with a recent seized Black Hawk helicopter flying past the militants along the road while also trailing a white Taliban flag. The parade came the day after video footage showed the militants making their way through an abandoned hangar in Kabul airport strewn with equipment the U.S. left behind. That video was posted to my Instagram at Sergeant Savage 1776. You can find it there. The video clearly shows them walking into the airport. They're followed by a journalist, and he's narrating as they go. And I encourage you that when you actually watch this video, look at the equipment, the uniforms the Taliban are wearing. We literally just help them level up. They went from man jammies, now they got full-fledged uniforms. They've got full-fledged weapons of war.
Night vision goggles.
Night vision, get the whole shebang.
Black Hawk helicopters.
They got it all.
Humvees. A pallet full of cash.
And a pocket full of shell. Nothing to joke about, but it's pretty fucking funny. Oh my God. That's where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. That is where we're at. In one video, militants dressed in U.S.-style uniforms and holding U.S.-made weapons, examining a CH-46 C-9 helicopter parked inside a hangar. Taliban fighters were also seen posing for photographs while sitting in the cockpits of planes and helicopters that once belonged to the Afghan Air Force. And, you know, people are like in the comments section, a lot of these things are like, how did they learn to fly so fast? Like, because they're good at what they do. These people will literally, like, they are amazing mechanics. They're amazing engineers because they keep pieces of shit jalopies that were made in the 1960s running. When it comes to vehicles and shit.
What was the biometric technology that had all the pilots' names and everybody's information? Thanks, Joe.
Yep. Thanks, Joe. Good job. I wonder if Dakota Meyer would think they're LARPers. I wonder if Dakota, is anybody asked Dakota Meyer if he thinks they're LARPers? Like, they're wearing the same shit, but you ain't doing shit. A bunch of fucking LARPers. I don't know. I know I'm probably going to get shots fired for that one, but whatever. I mean, people say some really stupid shit these days, myself included. It is what it is. But Pentagon Press Secretary John Kirby told CNN Tuesday that he wasn't overly concerned about these images. Oh, my Jesus. I'm not overly concerned that a militant force came in and overthrew, with an actual insurrection, an entire fucking country that we have sustained for 20 years. I'm not concerned about it. Bro, you gave them helicopters. You gave them, I don't know if there's any fixed wing aircraft in that stat. Those I didn't see any fixed wing. But even still, they have artillery. They have Humvees. They have up-armored APCs. Like, I'm not concerned. I wish you felt that same way about COVID. He wasn't overly concerned about these. Just a little concerned. Just a little concerned. Not overly, just a little bit. The Taliban fighters examining the abandoned aircraft. They can inspect all they want, Kirby said. They can look at them, they can walk around, but they can't fly them. They can't operate them. Bet, motherfucker, bet. You want to talk about the arrogance of American superiority complexes? That's it right there. That's it right there. That's why we fucking lost Afghanistan. That bullshit right there. How fucking dare you sit there and say, they can look, but they can't fly them. Bet, motherfucker. I bet you they will. 100% willing to put my next fucking paycheck on it. And that's the type of arrogance that lost us this war. That you undervalue, you basically undermine the Taliban's ability with your superiority complex. 100% I bet they will. They're already flying the UH-60s. They're using the names like you talked about in the list of pilots. They're probably putting them at gunpoint saying, you're going to do this.
Yeah, we're going to burn your family alive.
You don't fucking teach us how to fly. And they will figure it out. And they will fix them. 100% they will. And because you know why? Guess who they're working with now? China. They're working with China. And I guarantee Russia. They got allies, folks. They got allies. So to sit there and think in your arrogance, your American arrogance, and say, well, they can't fly. Oh my God. Just an ignorant statement like that is like, that mindset, don't ever underestimate your enemy. Like, do not. Just because you hate them, like, you sound so fucking arrogant when you say that. You sound so arrogant. You sound like Colonel fucking Mustard. Or Custard. Jesus, Mustard. I'm hungry.
I thought you were going to say Sanders.
Colonel Sanders. Now gonna get this chicken.
They get the best chicken.
Yeah, there are. Yeah, 100% Maverick. There are literal videos of them flying these aircraft already. You fucking idiot. You fucking idiot.
Wasn't that easy? It was easy.
It was easy. It was easy. They can inspect all they want, Kirby said. They can look at them. They can walk around. But they can't fly them. They can't operate them.
There's a YouTube video. I learned how to fly last night in like 45 minutes.
He added the U.S. military had made unusable all the gear that is at the airport, all the aircraft, all the ground vehicles, leaving only some fire trucks and forklifts operational. Okay, so he's referring to what's actually at Kabul airport. Even still, possibly, I guarantee they're going to figure out ways to fix that shit. As far as like getting parts, trust me, these people know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Literally picture of Taliban fighters in the cockpit of one of these birds, and they're taking notes. Like, these people aren't stupid. I'm looking at it. It's a CNN article right now. Taliban fighters sit in the cockpit of an Afghan Air Force aircraft at the aircraft in Kabul on August 31st. Efforts to reopen Kabul airport resumed on Wednesday as a team of Qatari technical experts arrived. There it is. Efforts to reopen Kabul airport resumed on Wednesday as a team of Qatari technical experts arrived in the Afghan capital. A source with knowledge on the situation told CNN. Weird. They can't fly him. They can't fix him. Boom. Qatari technicians come in and like, wait just a second. We're going to figure this shit out.
They just unplug the battery.
You
just got to plug it in.
You just got to plug the battery back. That's all they did.
Look, here, let me turn these.
Have you tried turning it off and back on?
Joe Biden is president. It's very minimal.
Siri, turn on. Welcome, Taliban.
Yeah, meanwhile,
turning on now.
They're posting pictures on their Twitter account of them and their terrorists
Yep.
on their Instagram accounts.
The source said that the technical team traveled to Kabul on a Qatari jet at the request of the Taliban, and that while no final agreement had yet been reached, talks are still ongoing at the level of security and operation. If you think the Taliban don't have negotiating power, they most certainly do. And a shitload of cash that we left behind. I want to say like millions in cash.
Yeah.
Like millions in cash.
Probably over 100.
This administration, oh my God, this administration's a fucking joke. It's a joke. And the military leadership is a joke. The objective is to resume flights in and out of Kabul for humanitarian assistance and freedom of movement in a safe and secure manner. Okay, Americans, look. Dear American white people, specifically you, public service announcement. Don't go to Afghanistan. All right? Don't go to Afghanistan. Even when they reopen, don't go. It's bad juju. If you're from the West, you're not Islamic, don't go. Because all you're going to do is turn yourself into a hostage. Stay the fuck out. Don't go over there for vacationing. Don't go over there to visit your relatives. Stay out of Afghanistan.
Is it nice there? Agricultural-wise.
It depends on what part. Like the mountains are beautiful.
Would you want a vacation there? Let's say there's
if
no
the Taliban wasn't there, absolutely.
Let's say no Taliban.
Oh, yeah. If there was no Taliban, I'll put it this way. If we could have Afghanistan without the Taliban, it would be a very beautiful place to go. The mountains are gorgeous. Mm-hmm. People don't realize that because they think Afghanistan's like Iraq. Mm-hmm. And certain parts are, but it's a very, very beautiful country.
The only place I've ever been to is Israel over there, in the Middle East, which was beautiful. Mm-hmm. I loved it.
You think Middle East, you think desert, I think for the most part. When we got to Afghanistan, I remember looking at the mountains, and it's like these things are beautiful. Mm-hmm. There's greenery. There's trees growing in these mountains. But yeah, it's gorgeous. What a vacation over there? Yeah, if I wasn't being shot at. I mean, I kind of did.
Gorgeous.
It was like a paid vacation, but I had to work and then do stuff, which was really weird. So Afghanistan is heavily reliant on foreign aid, and the World Health Organization and United Nations Children Fund, UNICEF, have already struggled to get critical food and medical supplies to the airport amid the mass evacuation operation. Even before the political upheaval of recent weeks, Afghanistan represented the world's third largest humanitarian concern, with over 18 million people requiring assistance, according to UNICEF. But with no commercial aircraft currently permitted to land in Kabul, getting aid in and out will be difficult. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Somebody promote that man from Ranger Really to Captain Fucking Obvious. Fox News publishes Biden faces crisis of confidence over Afghanistan. Biden's fumbled Afghanistan withdrawal is impacting his domestic and international credibility. Bro, oh my God. When you have the Brits saying, I say, oh, chap, no more. People are very, very flim-flams. Like, no. Absolutely. Like, Biden fumbled this. And the speech he gave yesterday, you know, I'm sitting there, and like even Crenshaw posted about this. I was watching his stuff, and he goes on this thing. He's like, "Dear Mr. President, you said that people 20 and under have never known peace. What the hell are you talking about?"
Yeah.
He's like, "My people have never known peace." He's like, "These generations before have known peace. They haven't had to go. We haven't had a massive terrorist attack on our shores, so they have known peace." Like, what are you talking? And he's right. He's right on that one.
Yeah.
So Biden, I don't know. Biden's just out there saying some of the most random, weird shit possible. And the fact that he deflected nonstop, and took no responsibility whatsoever was just boggling to me. But he's not going to. I mean, what do we expect with this guy?
I don't know. It's like a team of magicians over there. It's just like
hide the responsibility. Is it over here? No, it's Trump's fault. Is it over here? No, it's the intelligence community. Like in General Milley, blaming the intelligence community. The intelligence community is like, with all due respect, General, we told you, and you didn't listen. We covered in yesterday's episode, which we still got to upload to YouTube and iTunes. They said they were warned. Now there's like over 90 flag officers signing a petition for General Milley and SecDef Lloyd Austin to step down and resign because they didn't do enough to persuade Biden not to take this address, not to take this. Oh, by the way, Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, black supremacist. How many of those troops that you sent over or back over were white and Republican? The hashtag extremists you were looking for. Funny how you need the white boys. Funny how you need the white boys. And interesting. All the white Republicans. You certainly need us when it comes to war. I mean, we're the majority, naturally. I mean, what is it? Like, are we extremists or are we not? What is it? Like, when you need us, we're not extremists. But when you don't, we're the racists. Make a bold statement. Every fucking time it comes down to this, it's always the white people's fault. But the white people are the ones that are sitting there like, what did we do? What did we do? Why are we racist now? Why are we extremists? Because I voted for Trump? And this is how Democrats spin this, that if you're with Trump, you're an extremist, you're a racist. It's like, it's just, it's crazy to me that you're eventually going to turn these people into that originally weren't, but you keep calling them that long enough, they're going to push back and say, oh, I hate you now. Why? Because I'm black? Well, it's because you've been calling me a racist. But now I am one, because you've been calling me a fucking racist. Makes sense to me. You eventually call somebody a murderer long enough. Is it really shocking when they commit a murder to defend themselves? Like, not really. Liberals are creating more racists than anybody out there. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Lloyd Austin, though, is an example of fucking promoted to somebody that has no idea what the fuck they're doing. None. The bullshit, the 60-day stand-down they initiated as soon as he took office, to hunt for extremism within the ranks, which, again, that extremism was white Republicans. President Biden is facing a crisis of confidence in his ability to serve as commander-in-chief due to the overwhelming negative fallout he is receiving under the botched Afghanistan withdrawal, which left 13 U.S. service members dead and Americans and Afghan allies stranded. Former defense officials, military leaders, and members of Congress on both sides, key words here, on both sides of the aisle have criticized Biden for leaving Americans behind as the last U.S. C-17 plane took off from Kabul Monday night, despite the president's promise a week ago that if there are American citizens left, we're going to stay until we get them all out. Again, that was a lie. You lied.
He's a liar.
He's a liar. Psaki is a liar. They're all liars. I'm not sitting there saying the right is any better, but you've literally just lied to the American public. Why should they ever trust you again? It's almost like somebody's been sitting here saying, don't trust your government. Don't. This is what happens. Former defense officials, military leaders, and members of Congress on both sides of the aisle have criticized Biden for leaving Americans behind, yada, yada, yada. Foreign policy experts are also warning that the international credibility of the U.S. has diminished as both allies and adversaries now view America and the Biden administration. This is crucial. Listen up, ladies and gentlemen. Listen. Listen, Linda. Listen. As both allies and adversaries now view America and the Biden administration as weak and unable to protect its own citizens and crucial partners from the Taliban and terrorist attacks. In addition, the families of 13 service members killed by an ISIS-K attack near the Kabul airport last Thursday are expressing outrage at Biden for his bungled decisions that directly led to the deaths of their loved ones. Public confidence in Biden has also diminished to the Afghanistan withdrawal, according to CBS News poll released last week, which found that the majority of Americans do not consider Biden to be competent. I mean, you certainly did on the left when you voted for this piece of shit. You certainly did. I still remember Bastiat debating him, saying he's not senile. He's like, he got mad at me. He's like, are you a doctor? Do you know? Like, bro, I don't have to be a mechanic to know when my car is not working. I don't have to be a psychologist or a physician to look when somebody old is showing signs of dementia and he's senile. This dude has done it. Now, are these people going to come back and say, hey, I was wrong? Are they going to do it? Like, question these people. Hold them accountable. Are you going to come back and recant what you said? Probably not, because you're just going to double down. Are you an expert? Weird. I love using that argument against people with COVID. Like, are you a scientist? Are you? No. So then we have to make our best informed decision based upon what the information we're presented, which ultimately leads to a freedom of choice. The president of U.S. and NATO forces in the heart of Eurasia was a clear signal to the region of the capability and will of America and her allies to pursue our vital interests together. Both our capabilities and will are suspect now, said Ryan, former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for European and NATO policy. The unilateral and hasty manner in which this decision was taken will likely reinforce the now entrenched belief in many parts of Europe that America is an unreliable partner and will undermine President Biden's administration or ability to pursue his stated preference for working closely with our allies and partners. And I 100% agree with this. I 100% agree with this. Mm-hmm. Why the fuck? Like, if Josh is over there saying, hey, I'm not going to leave my kids at school, and then he does, and he abandons the kid at school, like, why would I want to trust him with my kids? Why would I trust him with my kids? I don't understand that. So why would our allies trust the Biden administration? This isn't permanent either. This isn't permanent. When the next administration takes over, things will change again. That's why so many people, are just kind of like flocking to this right now, saying absolutely not. But I guarantee when it changes, even if it's a new Democrat administration, it'll change. So this isn't permanent. It's just for the next 3 years and some change. The unilateral former top Obama advisor David Axelrod called the withdrawal from Afghanistan a disaster and a failure and urged Biden to reassess the situation on the ground as the Taliban took control of the country. It's too late. It's too late. I honestly feel it's too late. Taliban have control and they ain't giving it up. All you can do is do your best to negotiate with them now to get the Americans out of there. And there is talk that people are being evacuated and Taliban do have a hidden agreement to getting people out of there. I don't know. It's just, it's small little snippets that I'm reading here. I don't know for sure. Taliban got you by the balls now, bro. They've got the airfields. They've got everything. So the only way to go back in there and retake it is to do another invasion. Because guess what? This time, they're ready. It ain't going to be dudes in flip-flops. It's going to be dudes with artillery pieces that know exactly where you're going to probably drop and bomb your ass or nail your ass. They got, oh my God. You want to talk about an actual war?
They got uniforms.
They got everything.
High-functioning weapons.
It ain't going to be like it was before, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be more casualties. The only way to go back in there and retake those airfields is through military force. That's the only way. Only way.
But if America did go back into Afghanistan and go back to war, it would have to be like a 1 week blast them.
It ain't gonna happen. We don't have
get out.
Biden didn't have the balls, and our military leadership, I have no faith in.
Yeah, it's
like
not
right now, the condition of America is the majority. Even in the poll it was taken, the condition of America is that the overwhelming majority have no faith in Biden and no faith in our military leadership. This is what happens when you go woke. Do you see the condition of Congress today? I was thinking about this yesterday on the drive home. The condition of Congress is a direct reflection of our society. That's why Democrats are such pussies, is because it's a direct reflection of the I feel everything generation. That's what it is now. The boomers have listened to the millennials, who've listened to the zoomers. Like, if you really think about it, we're being lectured on TikTok by people in their fucking teens and early 20s on gender. Shut the fuck up. You know shit about fuck. Like, seriously. You don't know any. Like, somebody needs to tell, and that's what social media has done. Like, teenagers can get on there and lecture adults who have lived life for a very long time about what it means to be gender fluid and pan. Like, shut the fuck up with your attention seeking. It's to the point now when I see somebody with like pronouns in their bios, I'm going to make fun of them. My pronouns are he, her, them, that. Your pronouns are shut and the fuck up. You attention seeking little fucker. That's all you are. This is what happens when people's mommies and daddies don't love them and show them enough attention. They got to go to social media to get it. I'm special because I identify as a pan cross whatever and I want to fuck trees. I don't know. There was the one Twitch streamer that identified as a deer. And literally people paid this dude who pretended to be a woman, paid him to get scritches by his partner, whom I don't know what this was. Like, get scritches, like $100 to get. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, hey man, get
scritches?
Like scratches, like little scritches. And they talked about like making him a mod to help moderate Twitch, but I think they pulled that. I forget. It was a big deal for a while. And Twitch was kind of like, oh, we're going to empower the fucking weirdos in the community. And they did. And it was a massive blowback. People were like, abso-fucking. The power went to his head. And it's like, but I'm in charge and you can't change that. It's like, if I ever find you face to face, I'm going to make you eat grass.
I'm going to rip those
I'm going to rip those fucking antlers off of you and I'm going to mount them on my wall. You fucking little weirdos.
You won't know what's coming.
Like, this is like the problem we have in our society. We are pandering to the mentally delusional and weirdos.
Yeah.
Like, look at the condition of America in 2021. And I'm all for freedom to do what you want to do. I'm not against it. Don't get me wrong. But it's fucking weird. Now children drag shit. Like, what the fuck is happening to our country? I'm drinking the wrong coffee. Sorry. Back to my Starbucks. I've almost killed this.
Way to go.
Oh, man.
I could listen to you drink that all day long.
Pronouns for Afghanistan are were and was.
Were and was.
Well played, sir. Well played, the Twitch chat. The pronouns for Afghanistan are were and was. Additionally, Obama's Afghanistan ambassador Ryan Crocker said the withdrawal has created a global crisis, quite frankly. He said in an interview, I am afraid that as the Taliban gains more control, they are going to go after all those in Afghanistan who have spoken the truth. What do you mean they're going? They are. They are. People are being murdered. I do believe the current situation is an absolute debacle to have a broader international implications. The current chaos is being viewed and portrayed as a tragic mix of American incompetence, negligence, and weakness, and that certainly further Beijing's narrative of U.S. decline. And Beijing is 100% right. China is 100% right. They got us on the ropes. We look like bitches right now. As we see in the propaganda coming out of Beijing and coming out of Moscow that our adversaries are gloating and conveying that America cannot be trusted, so this has to worry our friends and partners, particularly in Taiwan, as well as in the Ukraine. America looks like fucking weaklings. Like, it used to be that we'd be the superpower. It's like, look, when America gets involved, shit's going downhill. Like, bring out the wild thing. Give them, like, the hand. Now it's kind of like, oh, do we really want the Americans involved? Do we want to have to babysit them and wipe their asses? They're going to be more of an inconvenience.
Who is that, Joe?
Who is that? Is that Joe? Ugh. But hey, they've got tanks. Let's get them in here. They've got stuff that we can... yeah, that's where we're at. Oh, my God. It's ridiculous. Jim McCullum, father of Marine Lance Corporal Riley McCullum, who died in the Kabul airport bombing, told Fox and Friends Tuesday that Biden fumbled the ball every step of the way in his administration's military decisions, leading to his son's death at the hands of ISIS terrorists. And he's 100% right. The way he has handled this, everything he's done, every step along the way has been absolutely backwards. And I don't understand the process of how they came to a decision that they made. A high school kid could have made better decisions than when they made this. They may have fumbled the ball every step of the way, said McCullum. God bless him and his family right now. Okay. We've covered a lot of Afghanistan. We're going to continue. We're going to watch how Afghanistan continues to crumble. There's news right now saying that women are no longer allowed in public. They've banned music. Women are no longer allowed to go to school. So Megan Rapinoe, AOC, Alyssa Milano, Michael Moore, I'm waiting to see you go to Afghanistan and start protesting women's rights.
Lead the charge.
Lead the charge.
Take the lead on this.
I'm actually begging. I will pay for your tickets to go do this. I'm making this promise to you right now. I will pay for your plane tickets to go to Afghanistan right now and protest.
Megan, pack a couple Subway sandwiches.
Do it.
Load them up on a plane.
Dye your hair another different color, whatever. You're still ugly. Like, you're still ugly. You can dye your hair. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, just because you're ugly does not mean that you have different genders. It doesn't. That you're a different gender. You're just ugly. And people don't want to fuck you. Sorry. Megan, you're one of them. Ellen DeGeneres is another one. Like, I don't understand how she's got a girlfriend that hot. It's got to be the money.
I don't know. They all look like Anderson Cooper to me. Like Ellen DeGeneres, and so does
Anderson
Megan.
Cooper's a handsome guy. I will give him. He's a handsome dude.
I'm not saying as good looking as Anderson Cooper.
I can see why Anderson and his husband is that other guy who I think he hosted. I forget what was it. America's Home Funniest? No, it was a different show. He's another good-looking guy.
I don't
because we attract equality. Like we attract usually our equals, and like Megan Rapinoe is just like, ooh, like no, absolutely not.
I'm not sure about their personal lives. I could just make the comparison. Be like, is that Anderson Cooper? No, that's Ellen DeGeneres. That's Megan. What's her name?
We are so never going to be on Fox.
Rapinoe.
Papaho.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a veteran-owned company and you'd like to have your products featured on the podcast, send them to 1601 North Glenville Drive, Unit 108, Richardson, Texas. Area code
75081.
75081. There we go. We will basically put your product on here first. We're going to test it, make sure it works. It's good. If it's coffee, if it's whatever, send it over. We'll do our best to showcase it on the episodes. Again, free shout-outs to veteran-owned companies. We're doing our part to help small companies grow. AOC. Oh, yes, ma'am. She's back in the news. This is the state of the Democratic Party right now. This is actually kind of beautiful to read. AOC slams Biden's Rahm Emanuel nomination as deeply shameful. New York Congresswoman claims former Chicago mayor tried to cover up 2014 murder of Laquan McDonald. Representative AOC forcefully came out against the nomination of former Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel to be the next U.S. ambassador to Japan, calling the selection deeply shameful. Ocasio-Cortez pointed to Emanuel's response to the 2014 police shooting of 17-year-old Laquan McDonald, which resulted in a $5 million settlement with McDonald's family, and the second-degree murder conviction of former police officer Jason Van Dyke, who shot McDonald 16 times. Other officers had said in reports that McDonald posed a threat at the time of the shooting, but police video footage indicated otherwise. This nomination is deeply shameful. As mayor of Chicago, Rahm Emanuel helped cover up the murder of Laquan McDonald, a mere teenager when he was shot 16 times in the back by a Chicago police officer, Ocasio-Cortez said in a statement. This alone should be flatly disqualifying for any position of public trust, let alone representing the United States as an ambassador. Should be disqualifying. Really? AOC seems to have her wires crossed. If you do something I don't like, you shouldn't be able to hold public office? Really? AOC just doesn't like this. I don't know the status behind this guy, but I think she's an idiot either way. Send her to Afghanistan, too. The police video had been kept under wraps until a judge ordered Emanuel to release it more than a year later, finding the state had violated records laws by not releasing it earlier. Emanuel denied covering it up in January 2019, January 29th, three of Van Dyke's colleagues, Officer Thomas Gaffney, former Officer Joseph Walsh, and former Detective David March, were found not guilty of obstruction of justice, official misconduct, and conspiracy. Okay, well, that'd be one of those things I have to look into, but I mean, that does sound like conspiracy when you keep a video under wraps for over a year, unless it's court related, case related, that you can't let the public see. But I don't know about that. Either way, still, Emanuel's opponents maintained there was foul play. That the Biden administration seeks to reward Emanuel with an ambassadorship is an embarrassment and betrayal of the values we seek to uphold both within our nation and around the world, Ocasio-Cortez continued. I urge the Senate to vote no on his confirmation. I mean, I can respect AOC for calling out the Democratic establishment. I mean, I can respect that. At least AOC punches both ways. I'll give her that. But I still think she's a fucking moron. I'm sorry, I do. I mean, you say some really stupid shit.
Who else does she have to punch at, though?
That's the other thing. She's not going to have any allies after this. And I'm kind of hoping for that. But the fact that she got reelected is just mind-blowing to me. Legitimately mind-blowing.
My mind's blown. I'm sitting here, and my mind is literally blown.
I'm going to say what a lot of people don't want to hear, but it's true. I think she's hot.
Do you think so?
I think she's hot. She's got the crazy eyes. She does. I think she's a beautiful woman.
I think she kind of looks like a horse. She got a horse face.
Horse face?
She got a horse face.
But she's a prime example of a generation that doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about, getting put into a position of leadership and now making all these fucking outlandish accusations and good idea fairies that are floating around that are just horrible fucking ideas. She's a prime, her and Ilhan Omar, who wants to make everything about Islamophobia and all this stuff. Yet meanwhile, she fucks her brother and all this other kind of crazy shit. So that's the state of America. That's the state of the union. We're fucked. We're fucked. That's the state.
So you vote these people out until we get this election integrity under control, and then, have honest and fair elections.
Weird. $5 dono from Vet Wolfpack, who says, leaked phone calls. Biden told Afghanistan president to use optics that Taliban was not taking over, even if they were. I'm going to need proof of that, and I'm going to actually need to hear that phone call. If there was a phone call, I have to hear it. I'm not going to take a leaked. I can't take a supposed leaked thing. Got to run an ad over on Twitch. Yeah, that's one of those. I'm going to need proof, brother. At least AOC is calling out Biden on that one. Florida Education Commissioner says counties defying Governor DeSantis' mask mandate ban will be overruled. The Florida Education Department will withhold funds for school districts that defy Governor DeSantis' ban on mask mandates. Despite a recent court ruling against DeSantis' ban, Education Commissioner Richard Corcoran who was behind the decision to withhold salaries, said on Fox and Friends that the decision whether to wear a mask should be left to the parents, and he is confident the courts will ultimately side with the state. Richard Corcoran says, we had 2 counties now, additional counties, who basically said, okay, we don't care about the rule of law. We're above the rule of law, and we're going to do what we think is right regardless of what the parents have decided. And we don't make a choice. You want to have your child have a mask? You don't want your child to have a mask? It's just up to the parents. And so then we got sued. And yes, the trial court, very judicial activist court, ruled against us yesterday. They haven't come out with their final ruling, and it's not binding until that ruling. But the second they come out with that ruling, we'll appeal. They're going to rule probably within 30 to 35 days, and I'm very confident they're going to rule on our side because that's what we are doing is absolutely within the Constitution and within the law. So, again, the title for this headline is basically saying Florida Education Commissioner says counties defying Governor DeSantis' mask mandate ban will be overruled and money will be withheld. He the governor. He the governor. We'll see. I mean, I agree. It's up to the parents. If it's state funded, if it's taxpayer funded, it's up to the parents.
Let me ask, if masks work, then why aren't masks working? You'd say legitimately.
That's a good point.
For over a year,
we were all wearing masks at first. By
everybody
the way,
was wearing a mask,
yeah.
So you can't say that everybody wasn't wearing.
You don't say that
for the most part.
You don't say that.
You can.
You don't say that.
So if they work, then why aren't they working?
Step brothers. You don't say that.
You don't say that. Don't tell.
Because my father married a retard. You don't say that. My president's a retard. You don't say that. You don't say that.
You don't say that.
And that's why we're never going to be on Fox. You don't say that. Oh, my. Bear with us, late. We're almost done with today's show, ladies and gentlemen. We've been going, we're an hour and a half into this bad boy. We've been going long shows. We've got a lot to talk about. Thank you for all the love and support, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here with us. All your donations on Twitch and YouTube. God bless you. God bless you. All right, serious thing here. Mother of soldier killed in Kabul puts blame on Biden. You and her quotation is, "You trusted the enemy." Army Staff Sergeant Ryan Knauss, forgive me if I mispronounce that, is remembered by his mother Paula as passionate, dedicated soldier. Paula Knauss, mother of fallen Army Staff Sergeant Ryan Knauss, is pointing fingers at the Biden administration for the death of her son during America's messy withdrawal from Afghanistan. The grieving mother stressed holding who's at fault accountable on the Ingram angle Tuesday, starting with President Biden for trusting the enemy instead of putting the best interest of U.S. troops, Afghan allies, and all Americans. The President of the United States has, and this is her speaking, for example, or for her speaking, the President of the United States has the ability to help our troops have enough men and women to stay safe, she said. In all of our history and all of the time that we have been fighting, where did you leave these men and women but at one airport, one location, one gate to funnel thousands through? And who did you trust? You trusted our enemy to allow who would come through. And she's got a point there. I mean, she legit has a point. What does anyone in this great nation think when they think what would happen? No one has to have a military background to know that that was not going to go down well. Sergeant Knauss warned his mother after he had volunteered to join the mission that the situation at Kabul airport was bound to be a mess. He reassured her that he'd be in and out in no time, but Paula Knauss instead picked up the call every mother dreads, a call she believes could have been prevented. There should have been a better way of helping our armed branches get those people who are American out safely and still lose no man or woman in uniform or in Afghanistan, she said. It should never have happened that way, or the way it did. Who is accountable for this? Who will stand up and say that they will be accountable for the death of 13 young men and women? It ain't going to be Biden, I'll tell you that right now. I'll tell you that right. It ain't going to be Biden. Knauss remembered her son as a loving husband and passionate soldier who was always first in line and willing to lay down his life for America. Ryan now served for 5 years and was decorated with multiple honors such as a Purple Heart and Bronze Star. If Mr. Biden would like me to tell him, if Mr. Biden would like to tell me how I can sleep better at night right now, or any American can while he is serving in the administration, please give me a call, the sergeant's mother pleaded. And let me know how I can sleep tonight, a full night with my son, like all the sons and daughters he didn't make it home. And it is on your watch, because he was doing his job well, and he counted on you to tell the troops what your desire was, and he followed through with your desires. So it is on you right now to tell me. Of course he won't. In the speech he made yesterday, it was very clear as day that he's going to take no accountability. He literally deflected left and right. I listened to it for about 10 minutes. Josh was sitting right next to me. I had to turn it off. I couldn't. I couldn't listen to it. It was constant fucking deflection. He blamed Trump. He blamed everybody but him. Everybody but him. And then he had the audacity to praise himself. Like, this is how they do it. This is how politics works, ladies and gentlemen. The optic is presented that we did so good. We evacuated over 120,000 people. 120,000 people that evacuated because you're fuck up. Like, again, we made this reference before. It's like saying you saved the cat from the burning house that you set on fire, and then you congratulate yourself for doing such a good job on saving the cat. You're the reason you had to save the cat, you fucking moron. Like, this makes no sense to me. None. To sit there and pat yourself on the back and say, this is how well we've done in the process and this conundrum that we have created. My administration created this. And then the fact that he's meeting with the Gold Star mothers and fathers of our fallen soldiers and Marines and servicemen and women over there, and then tried to reference his own loss. And we talked about it in yesterday's show when the mother was meeting with him. And he sits there trying to use his own personal experience of the son he lost from brain cancer, who was also a decorated Iraq veteran. Like, how dare you, sir? How dare you sit there and try and use your tragedy to undermine hers? As if you know. No, you don't know what it's like. You lost your son to brain cancer, who was, by the way, in his mid-40s. Her son was cut down in the youth of his life. So to sit there and make such a comparison is so tone-deaf to me. And this guy is such a piece of shit. Like, the Biden administration, Biden is a horrible human being.
Finally, someone said it.
Fucking piece of shit. Fucking piece of shit. This president is garbage. Fucking garbage. And the people of the world see this. They see this and they lose all faith in Biden administration. No wonder. No fucking wonder. And any Democrat that is willing to come out there and support this piece of shit in the face of what he's done, like, how dare you? How dare you defend this? Yeah, but we're all biased. It's what we do. We got to play the party lines. Toe the party line, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you dare think outside party lines. Can't do that. That's where we're at in America. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you tuning in today. That concludes today's show. This is the All American Savage Show podcast. You can check us out on iTunes, SoundCloud, on YouTube. This episode will be uploaded here in the next 1 to 2 hours on SoundCloud and iTunes. We'll put the video format on my YouTube channel. The links are down below. They'll be posting the video. Hey, Facebook, welcome back to the stream. Do I still have a Facebook? Did I get banned yet? Do I have any Facebook comments? Oh, I do. Nice.
All right.
Nice.
All right.
I love this.
Right.
Adam Akamu on Facebook says, John, here's your reminder that when we lost 4 of our troops in Niger in 2017, Trump's response was not to say shit for 12 days and then call one of our widows a liar. Stop fucking being a hypocrite, John. You really want you talking about the Green Beret that was lost over there? That she actually tried to use that optic to paint Trump in a bad light when he actually called her and then she lied to the press. You want to talk about that one? And what you're doing right now is deflecting 101. You stay on topic, bitch. You stay on fucking topic. Trump's guilty of some shit too, but don't you dare fucking deflect the little bitch you are. You want to talk about hypocrisy? That Green Beret that died, that mom tried to use that as a political optic, so fuck her. Fuck her, and I'll say it loud. I'll say it to her face. The fact that you tried to use your fallen son as a political hit piece against the president because you just don't like Trump, and your fallen Green Beret that Trump actually called each individual family because you bought into the MSM bullshit and hypocrisy, sir, go fuck yourself and get the fuck off my channel. How dare you? How dare you come in here and try and gaslight in such an erroneous manner? How fucking dare you? So you stay on Biden. You stay on Biden. And the motherfuckers out there that you want to keep deflecting to Trump, knock it off. You fucking voted for this piece of shit. Now you fucking take the licks. You take the licks, the responsibility, because this blood is also on your hands. How fucking dare you? How fucking dare you? He did call his mom. He did. And there was actually audio that was put out there. And nobody wanted to listen. And the press sat there and fucking gaslit like a son of a bitch. The MSM went after him. So don't you dare sit there and try and use this previous administration and their fuck-ups to justify this. How fucking dare you, pieces of shit? Go fuck yourself. Shell Shock CBD for anxiety and blood pressure. Using code Burke, save 10% off.
So good.
You fucking idiot.
When you need to unwind and relax.
Talk about a hypocrite. Talk about these idiots that bought into the MSM narrative left and right. And you can't honestly sit there and tell me with a straight face that the MSM did not fucking sit there and showcase a bias against Trump no matter what he did. If you really honestly want to sit there and tell me that, you're a fucking liar and we have nothing to talk about. Nothing. You piece of shit want to talk about hypocrisy. And then the mother of a Gold Star man that fell in combat wants to sit there and use his death as a political optic. How dare her? Her son would be ashamed of his mother. Bold statement to make, but I really don't fucking care. Fucking cockroaches. Sitting there talking about fucking morons. Sit down, John. Adam Aku, go fuck yourself. Get the fuck off my channel. You're blocked, you stupid fuck. What an idiot. How dare you, sir? You're just as guilty. You bought into the bullshit. And you try and use the death of a fucking Green Beret. Not a fuck, excuse my language on that one. A Green Beret that fell in combat. You try and use that as a political hit piece against the previous administration. How dare you? You're lucky I even fucking acknowledge your stupid peasant question. You peasant-minded fucks. Annoying. God, you Democrats are like fucking scum to me. You're like scum. How can we end the show on a good note? Well, I banned that cocksucker. That was nice. Stop being a hypocrite. How about you stop believing the MSM? You fucking moron.
He needed that. He needed a good tongue lashing. He knows he needs it.
Fucking idiot.
That's why he did it.
Fucking idiot. All right.
Masochist.
One more time. If you would like to enter in, if you're having financial hard times and you want to enter in to try and get some financial help, here at Shell Shock, we're giving away a total of $14,000, $2,000 per week to families or individuals in need. Here is a link you can submit. It has to be you. There is a link where you can enter in. Appreciate all the love and support. This is going to be going. The first person will be contacted this Monday. We'll be conducting a telephone interview to try and make sure that we can investigate as much as we can and to make sure that they actually need the money and the money doesn't go into the wrong hands. So you can check us out there, and also make sure you check out shellshockcbd.com for your anxiety, stress, high sleep needs. We've got you covered. And don't forget, we have Congressman Crenshaw coming on the show this Friday, I believe 2:45 CST. Make sure to tune in for that. And again, you can find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube at the All American Savage Show podcast, or just put my name in, John Burke. It'll populate. Hey, I want to say thank you for all the new subscribers on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Thank you for all the sub donation and bits over on Twitch. You guys are fucking amazing. Without you, we would not be here. Again, sharing this podcast helps get our voice out there. It's on you, the people, to make our voices heard. So again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for everything you do for us. God bless you, and you stay savage.